Hello and welcome to Factorio Speed Challenge. I'm Factorio and today I want to talk about what I've learned and what my thoughts are about this speed challenge. So the first of all is the map settings. I chose to play with biters because I thought it would be kind of cheaty to try to do the speed challenges with other settings than normal. So I went for the normal settings. And I think it was fine. Yeah, sure, I had to fend off the biters a bit, but it wasn't too bad. It wasn't as bad as I thought actually. So that's all fine. Secondly, let's have a look at the map. Oh, let's get rid of all of that. On the map, we can see that this is where I started. We had an area with all of the resources. And there was quite a bit of them. That was really good, and that suited me perfect for creating some research things. And then I found this and thought that, oh, then we do the end game over here. And all of that was good. But, oh yeah, also we have this forest. It's good that it was a bit away. We didn't have a forest in our spawning area, really, or a forest covering any of our patches of resources. The only problem with that was that we needed to run away to get some trees to get our first power poles. And we couldn't use wood chests, we had to use iron chests. But that's all good. I don't have a problem with that. What's more? Yeah, also I thought I would need loads of resources. Okay, the copper over here is almost mined out, but we have loads of both iron and coal left, and the same over here in the end bit. Yeah, the biters are attacking. I don't really care. But we didn't have enough oil. We only had 8 oil sources. And, well, we could see that it was only 8 when we looked at the map to start with. What we couldn't see was that they were pretty bad. We couldn't have foreseen that, but 8 is still a low number. Maybe I should have done a new map, waiting for 12 to 15 sources. I think I will do that in the next game. Okay, so if we go into the actual gameplay, the start of the game, we started over here, we got some coal, we got some iron, we got some stone, and got some copper, and everything kind of worked. That's no big problem. The start of the game was good. It could be done better, definitely, but it was good enough. Then we had, oh, why did I go down there? I was up here when I started to be able to talk about the power. Because the power, that created a bit of problems. First of all, when I started with the first column, I should have thought about the future. I should have placed the pump. First of all, I should have placed it as far to the left as I could. Now we are wasting space over here. But I should also have placed pipes to be able to run a belt through and then run belts up to be able to get coal into the boilers. And I should have placed it so we had one more belt like with underground over. That way it would have been easier and I wouldn't have to run around all the time. It's a small thing, but it helps. Let's see, what did we more say about the power? Well, yeah, when I started with the power, I basically have a setup where I had the belts over here and then inserters. And then these inserters are grabbing from the belt into the next. That, it works. But I think I used way more coal than I should have by doing it that way. So next time I will set it up like this immediately. That makes way more sense. And then we run out of fuel. That was, I think, the single biggest problem in this whole gameplay. Because that ended up... Oh, let's do it like this. That ended up costing me, I think, about an hour. We ran out of fuel and had problems with it 2 or 3 times. The first time was the worst, where I had a problem starting it up again, because I didn't have enough fuel to actually start it up to get more fuel. So, future playthroughs, I should make sure to have more fuel than I need. Not the amount I need, but more fuel than I need. Or, yeah, if I have more fuel than I need, then I might not have as much power as I need. No, that doesn't work. I need more fuel than I should have more fuel than I need, and I should also make sure to have enough power. I mean, if we are using more power, or if we aren't producing enough power, I should increase the number of steam engines and boilers, because running out of fuel, running out of power, that's a big problem. Okay, then let's go to the mining. So when we started out, or when we did the stone mining, I basically placed the whatever they're called, coal-fueled mining, I placed them here, and that's kind of okay. But first of all, it was a lot of them. And secondly, I only stored the stone in 3 chests. And that was chests that I couldn't even use them. They were placed in awkward positions. So for next time, sure, store some stone, of course, but make sure to get furnaces, and that might be normal stone furnaces. I don't care. But to make the stone bricks. And then from that, it's easier to make the concrete later on in the game. The stone bricks, well, the concrete, they are used for one structure. That can be done when it's needed. But the stone bricks, those are used for so many things. So that should be done automatically. I shouldn't have to set it up. What more? Oh yes. Where am I? Mining, yes. As I said, I didn't need as much ore as I thought, meaning that none of these are mined out. And it's not a big problem, but knowing that for next time, I'm just gonna place them beside each other. That way we are saving a little bit of space, which is really good, and we are saving a bit of time. Above all, we are saving time because I don't have to care. I don't have to worry about placing them at the correct location or anything, because they're gonna run, and I don't have to place more. I don't have to cover the whole patch. So that's one thing that I could improve definitely, and that should be fairly easy to improve. If we go to the smelting, I can't go through there. If we go to the smelting, I should have left a little bit more more space to extend the smelting. Like above these, I should have left like over here. I should have had that totally free. That way, being able to extend upwards, but also to extend on the other side. Because I did run a bit low on iron down here. I don't think I run especially low on copper. The same over here. I run a bit low on iron, and I couldn't do anything about it. Well, I could, but it would have been a big job to do it. What I should have done down here, I should just have built this one row further down. Then I could have run another belt, and initially just have a splitter, making sure that we got the same amount, or got that split onto 2 belts, no problems. And if we needed to extend to the left or whatever, then I could have fixed it on the right side, making sure that both belts were full. That way we would have had more iron being smelted, and we would have been able to use more iron. That's the goal, isn't it? And yeah, I should have extended the smelting. I was thinking about, should we really create more stone furnaces? After all, they are not that good, and they take stone, and they take time to produce and everything. Why not just create them? Plank them down. We had loads of stone. We didn't use a lot of it. Plank them down, get the smelting going, don't care about the rest. That we can care about further on. But get the smelting done. That's basically what we should have done. Yeah. And then we have the steel. I should have started with the steel a bit earlier, and I should have automated it. As I did it, we got iron over here. I had this set up. I plugged the iron down in this chest, and these 4 stone furnaces smelted it into steel. And that took a lot of time. Oh yeah, and we were using the burner inserters. That wasn't a big problem because the burner inserters are fast enough. No worries. But instead, let's just plank them down next to this line or next to this line or something to make it automated and make it expandable. I was running out of steel so much in the early game because I couldn't expand it. Well, if I would have expanded it, it would have taken too long. So I didn't. Make that earlier, make it expandable. Yeah. And then we had problems with iron. We were catching iron early on, and the same with copper. Let's look at the copper. We were catching that to 2 chests. We have loads of copper. But even though we had loads of copper, we did run out of it. What we should have done was to store it and then unload it. So do something like this. Let's see. Now I don't remember what kind of inserters I had. So we should have done something like this. There we go. So it will grab whatever it can into this chest. But when we need more rather, then it will unload to the belt again. And sure, don't do that please. And sure, this isn't the right place to have it. But if we have done it this way, then we would have a supply of copper in this case, or iron, or steel, or whatever that we can use. But we would also have a supply that can be used automatically when it's needed, when we need a little bit more resources for some time. So that I should definitely do for next time. Another thing about the smelting is that I smelted a lot of steel. And then I mean a lot. For the endgame, for the rocket. And I ended up using it, most of it. But I didn't have to smelt it that early. It's not a bad thing, but that we had it, definitely not. But it's a bad thing that I waited with doing other things just to smelt the steel. So in the future, let's not smelt it. Let's wait. Let's wait until we need it. Sure, set up some smelting, definitely. But don't go overboard as we did. Yeah, then we have the research. I think that we had... Let's see, where is it? Where was the research? Oh, here we had the red research, and here we have had the green research, and I think those worked fine. Oh yeah, and we had the purple research up here. Those three worked fine, there wasn't any big problems. Sure, you could always optimize, but it was okay. And then we had the blue research over here. And there was a bit of problem with that. First of all, it wasn't fast enough. I need more blue research for the next game I'm doing. The next speed game at least. But it's also that we didn't really start with that research until we were almost out of all our research. So let's start it as soon as we can. And if we can't build a blue research, don't. But we can build the inserters. We can build and produce the red circuits. We can do everything to prepare it. We should definitely do that next time. Oh yeah, the order of the research. I didn't have a plan for it. But I think it went quite okay. In the research screen I could pause and take a minute, have a look. So I think that was okay. It could surely be optimized, but it was okay. So that's basically this part of it. Oh, and then we had the belts. The belts were good, but we shouldn't have limited it so much. Because, well, when we needed it later on, maybe we should have the belts after something else. Just to be sure that we get materials, get iron basically, to the other stuff first. But in the end game, we didn't get enough belts created. Okay, if we go over to the oil, there is a few things. First of all, we should have started with oil earlier. And then I'm not talking about oil processing. I'm talking about putting down pump jacks and putting down storage tanks. Just to start getting oil into tanks. Because if we have the oil, we can always break it down later on. But the oil, we can't really speed it up. Yes, we have speed modules. But speed modules requires oil, that's a mess. And it doesn't really help. So start it earlier, put it into storage tanks, and then process it when we get into that game. And also, let's see, what is my notes? Oh yeah, and this one, and this one. We placed those storage tanks a bit quickly, and we placed more storage tanks up here and to the side and the same over here. But the thing is, if we needed more refineries, if we could have handled more refineries actually, those would have been in the way. So let's just get an underground pipe or get a pipe to the side and place it out here. Place it down here. Place it wherever, but not in the way of the production buildings. And then, yes, we stayed at oil 1 for so long. We should have gone to oil 2 way earlier. And we should have also, I said it in the beginning, we only had 8 patches over here. These patches we couldn't use. We should have way earlier realized that we needed it to go down here and have a look at that oil. But yeah, that's what happens sometimes. Let's do it better next time. Next thing to talk about is the defense and in some cases the offense. So I think it worked pretty good. But we should have had way more lasers. The thing is that we didn't have enough oil and we didn't have enough batteries. So I couldn't create a lot of lasers. But we should have way more lasers and have placed them everywhere to have a little bit of defense basically everywhere. And then I should have had like 10 or 20 lasers on me. Because when I attacked to get the goo or just to hold the biters back, I was spending so much time running forwards and backwards to grab the to grab the turrets and then leave them and grab them and leave them, because I didn't have a choice. I basically had to do it. I didn't have enough turrets and I only had the pistol. I mean, I didn't worry about researching something that I wouldn't really use. So I couldn't go in manually. So turret creeping was the only way I could realistically attack. Oh, let's activate those again. Yep. Then let's have a look again. We created two bases, one for the research and one for the end game with the rockets, basically. Was that a good idea or was it a bad idea? Well, it was a good idea because this we could concentrate on research only, and this we could concentrate on rockets only, and we didn't have to worry about the other thing. But it was also a bad idea, because the resources here, especially when the research was finished, we just let it be. We let everything be, and then we did the same thing up here. I don't know which way is best. I think if I get a similar map, I will do the same. I think that is maybe the best way, but if we are lucky and get it closer together, then I could redirect like the iron up to the other area, iron and copper, and then we can use it in both areas. And of course the oil, if we got that in between the two areas, it would have been way easier. Next time I will definitely try a few times to get a good map, if needed. Yeah, then we have the rockets and the parts. Basically, this whole setup. So what did we learn from that? Well, we learned that we need red circuits. And then when we have red circuits, then we need some red circuits. And then we need a lot more red circuits. Basically, I could have gone with this and fill it up without getting too many red circuits. I could have gone up here, and I think that would have been a good idea, actually. It would have been a good idea to get that many red circuits. So next time, more red circuits. But to get that, we need more plastic. And to get that, we need more oil. So it all comes down to the oil again. Apart from that, I think the idea and the setup, well, I didn't plan it, really. But I think the setup was quite okay with the speed modules. The blue circuits, I would have more assembly machines. If we had enough red circuits, I would have needed more of these. But as it was, we didn't. And then we have the green circuits. Look how many green circuits we have laying around. If we had done what I said earlier, to grab things from the belt and put it back on the belt, then we wouldn't have had a big problem, because then we would have put it back. And yes, we were running low on green circuits when we were doing the blue circuits, when that was going full speed. So just do that, pull it from the belt, put it back on the belt. That would have made such a big difference, I think. And the same with the red circuit and with the blue circuit, and well, maybe not the speed modules, because we don't need that many of them. But even with speed modules, it wouldn't be bad. When we are talking about the rocket stuff, I think we did pretty well. I mean, as everything, it wasn't optimal, but we got the rocket done, and we got it done okay. We didn't have too many too many rocket fuel left. Actually, we had 48 left. That was cutting it way too close. Or did I? Oh, okay, 53, I guess. That was a mistake. Let's put those down to get the last ones. Yeah, 53, that was a mistake. But that was also because we had the rocket up here, and we were producing the stuff over here. So, and we needed the oil for plastic, mostly plastic. So when I was over here, I just had to take a decision, and luckily it was the right decision. Let's see, we should have gotten one more percent. Yep, 5% and 53 of them. Okay, what about the smelting and stuff? Well, I think it worked pretty good as it is. Maybe the steel smelting shouldn't be set up exactly as it was, especially with all of these chests. It should have been, as I said, picking it out, putting it back, picking it out, putting it back. That makes sense, but not a lot of chests just to fill up. That wasn't a good idea. So what other thoughts do I have now when it's night time? Well, first of all, I didn't expect this to be easy, but I expected it to be way more manageable than it was. This was way more stressful than I thought it would be. It was fun, don't get me wrong. I like it. I will probably do it again because I want that 8 hour. This one? No, this one. There is no spoon. I want that. So I will probably do it again. But it was way more stressful than I thought. I didn't really have any time to think except when I was in the research menu. One of the things that ended up taking a little bit of time, I could have saved a few minutes, was that I was too picky with the placement of things. I should have just put things down and gone with that. As it was, oh, this isn't right, it should be one up, it should line up with this one. Why should it line up with this one and this one? It doesn't matter. It's a speed build. It should only be done quickly. Yeah, that's what happens. But the big problem I had was that I was forgetting to finish things. Like I was forgetting at one time I was tearing a belt up by the research, and I forgot to put it back down. That resulted in no fuel for the power. I was lucky at that time, but it was loads of small mistakes all over. I have to try to avoid those. Of course I'm trying to avoid them. Don't get me wrong, but I have to really try to avoid them. Inserters, I forgot those a couple of times. Pipes for the power, underground pipes, I forgot those for a couple of hours, 2 or 3 hours before I put in a few of them. The water, when I changed from oil 1 to oil 2, I forgot that the refineries needs water. I was running without refining any oil for half an hour or something before I went on there and had a look. At that time it was anyway too late to get the spoon achievement, but still I should have noted. I shouldn't have done it. I should have noted that something was wrong and just done it correctly. But that's what happens when you are trying to stress it, when you are trying to do it as fast as possible. And one more thing. I had notes, but my notes were how much of each of these things do I need to launch the rocket? That's all the notes I had. That's good notes, don't get me wrong. But for the next time, and I've already made those notes, for the next time I will have notes about, let's have a look, which buildings to build, in what order, or not buildings, but functions, like the research. I will create a total of 20 labs. I will create 4 red research, and that takes iron and iron gear wheel, and I need 1 or 2 assembly machines for the iron gear wheel. I have not noted exactly how the build should look like. That's not important. But basically to have goals, to know that, oh, I'm doing red research. When I'm finished with that, I'm going for green research. And green research, I need that many of them. I need to have this and this to create all the stuff. And doing it that way. Then I want some belts, then I want the purple research, and then I want the blue research. That way it's easy to see, oh, I don't have the blue research yet. I haven't researched whatever it is I need to research to actually get it. But I know that I need filter inserters. Can I create those? No. Okay, can I create batteries? Yes, I can. Okay, let's create batteries. Let's do everything for the batteries. Then we have 1 ingredient for the blue research. Can I smelt iron into steel? Yes. Then I have the next thing. Can I create green circuits? Yes. Then I have an ingredient for the red circuits. So working like that. And then of course I still need a research. I still need that. But there were some cases where I was basically waiting because I didn't know what to do. And in a speed run, that's not a good idea. It's better to do something. Of course it's better to do something. But yeah, that is my thoughts about what I should improve for next time. And yeah, if you have any comments, this is, I think, the first time I'm saying it, but if you have any comments or any suggestions on how to do it, please write it down, and then I can have a look and I can improve. I can learn. Anyway, thank you a lot for watching, and see you soon with another try. Bye!